Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of T-shirt driving. I'm currently in the Polestar and we're doing a little city driving with the new Rotora brakes. I just wanted to share with you, because people ask about the full floating rotor, how much chatter is there? So right now I'm going 14-15 miles an hour through residential. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but I can hear it. So it's definitely there at low speed, low to mid speed. And we're gonna be coming up to University over in North Park, which is a very rough road. And that should definitely pronounce what is happening. I'll even roll down the windows when we get to that point. And so what I've noticed with the full floating rotor, this chatter, again, this is gonna be associated because these are fully dedicated track brakes. And the whole reason for the full floating rotor is to get the most amount of the axial and radial expansion rates. So 0.7 millimeters versus 0.3 millimeters because two different surfaces are being heated up at the same time, from the iron rotor or the steel carbon rotor to the aluminum bell hats. So windows are down. Going 20 miles an hour. Definitely hear that clicking. It's a really rough road. So when does this chatter stop? Well, we're gonna approach the highway or the freeway, and we're gonna see exactly at what speed the chatter dissipates, because I have noticed that at freeway speeds it sounds like a normal car, and the majority. This is such a rough road. It's like rallycross. Oh, this is terrible. Switching lanes. That the majority of my driving, when I am driving the car on the street, is on the highway or freeway. So the couple times I have to actually be on a rough road, like this is the road to my house, it's less than a half a mile. So I'm not too worried about that. And again, I don't drive this car that often on the street. I'm mainly in my Tacoma. Using that to go around or detailing for work. So let's get to the freeway and see how this goes. Okay, now to make things clear, I'm not making this video to show you why you should not buy these brakes. I'm making this video to show you the differences between the track setup and the street setup that Rotora has to offer. If you want a quiet ride, go for their Street Challenge series. Street being in the title of that kit. If you, again, are dedicating your vehicle to track, get the Super Challenge series. You're gonna have more noise, more chatter, as they say. Start-stop system is working, so on and off. But again, you're gonna notice the difference mainly in the materials and the abuse. Street cars, they're refined. We have all this sound deadening inside. Race cars, we strip all that out to reduce weight. We put roll cage in it. It's to make it a little bit more raw or visceral, and you're trying to gain the most amount of advantage for reducing lap times. Now, can you use these on the street? You most certainly can. You just have to be okay with a little bit of chatter. And again, if I haven't mentioned it, Rotora also provided for each brake rotor 5 anti-rattle clips if the noise is unbearable for myself. Instead of putting it on all 10 like the full semi-float, I can put it on 5 of the bolts that hold the bell hat to the rotor. So again, if the noise is too unbearable, or I decide I start doing more street driving, I can always put those anti-rattle clips in. I hear it right now, especially going really slow. You just hear it as the wheel rotates. It's like falling onto each clip, just that little bit. I'm making exaggerated motion because it doesn't move that much, but you hear it just that ever little bit as we are waiting to get on the freeway. really trying to like pronounce and show this, because I understand that most people that buy these vehicles, the Volvo or the V60s or the S60s or any of the Volvo models, they want a little bit more refinement, and that's why they see the nice big bling and they're like, ooh, I want that. I want the best thing that money can buy. Well, it's the best thing for track use, not necessarily for street use. And again, in previous videos, I have showed the difference from the stock Brembo setup to the street setup with the front and rear calipers on the street kit for Rotora and their stopping distance. So link for that is down below if you want to check that out. It also has a track video, but towards the end of it, I do the stopping distances. All right, we are 3 cars away from getting onto the freeway. It is morning, but because of COVID, freeway is still no traffic, but we still have the on-off traffic light to let us on the freeway. Well, that person doesn't know how to stop at the red. So I'm gonna be reading off the speed. Now let's see when it stops making noise. 25. 30, still there. 35, I'm going slower. 40. I hear it definitely at 40. I still hear it right now, 38. We're slowing down a little bit, getting on. I guess there is a little bit of traffic right now. The smooth part, I actually didn't hear it as I was accelerating. But as soon as I started hitting the small potholes and rugged road, 30 miles an hour, still hear it. 35 miles an hour, still hear it. 40, it's getting quieter. 42, I could just faintly hear it at 42. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to 45 and higher right now. But from my experience from driving around these last couple days, at right around 45 miles an hour, the noise goes away. Or as you're accelerating hard, that's another where the noise will not be so much there because of the